So this is another debunking of a ill-informed union president. This is for Local 3621, President Vincent Variale. So, Vinny, honey, listen, I know you've been gaslighted and lied to by people before, and I think you're conditioned to being gaslighted and lied to. And so you're keep spreading that misinformation and accusing me and the New York City Organization of Public Service Retirees is spreading misinformation. That's not the case. So I understand, I'm looking at a few points here that have been shared with me, that the judge ruled that the administrative code said the city is required to provide free health care. I know it's being viewed as a win for retirees, but it's really a loss. I'm sorry, how is that a loss? The judge stated that the law was being broken. You know, a law that us retirees legislated in 1967 with the mayor, actually. It was legislated by Mayor Lindsley in 1967 when Medicare became available. Many of our retirees are 75, 85, 99 years old. They were around during that time, Vinny. And the reason why we have 12-126 is because the mayor used to pay for retiree health care in full, like yours. And when Medicare became available, he wanted to be able to put them on Medicare. So he said, look, we have this great national benefit. I'm going to make this available to retirees, but in order to do that, I have to pass a law to do it. So we're going to put all of the employees that are over 65 and Medicare eligible onto that by personnel order. But for those that are retired, I can't just do that. I need a law. City Council legislated that law. 12-126 provides two things, like I've been saying for a damn year. It provides Medicare B reimbursement because at the time, Medicare premium was $3 a month. Today it's like $170, but it's dropping down to like $164. And the only bump up in that increase of premium was due to that new Alzheimer's drug, which that's a whole nother mess. Anyway, so at $170 a month, Medicare B premium. Next is the Medigap plan, the city supplemental plan, RGHI senior care. The city's insurance plan only pays less than 20% of our health care, thanks to the MLC. You know, you guys, you're part of that team. You negotiated $15 copays on a less than 20% cost to the city, which is basically us eating 85% of the 20% that the city was supposed to pay. Where your $15 copay is on a full 100% cost, ours is not. And inequity reigns stupidly all over this. So this is why we have 12-126. It was because the city was already providing free healthcare or premium free healthcare to retirees, and in order to be consistent, because he wanted to keep it premium free, he legislated 12-126, which covers the Medicare Part B premium reimbursement and pays for the little Medigap plan that used to cover 20%. Today, we're lucky if it covers, I don't know, $10. It covers next to nothing. So, and that was the same plan that you wanted to charge us $200 a month per person, and we're telling us just suck it up, it's only $191. $191 for a plan that pays less than 20%, and you guys are bitching about a plan that a copay for an individual rate of about $17 a month for a full 100% coverage plan. I'm sorry. Want to do the math on that one for me? But I'm supposed to be upset that the judge reaffirmed a law that's 55 years old that states that the city is supposed to pay the full cost of health insurance up to the HIP HMO rate for every employee, retiree, and their dependent. And I'm supposed to, this is my fault that the city's been violating the law? Dude, you're union president. How come you didn't know this? Why didn't you know that the city was violating the law and do something about it? How come you didn't say anything that on all of these rate sheets for the employees and the retirees, did you notice that the retirees rates, the premiums on the retiree plans are all under the cap? And those premiums were being charged to retirees? Guess where that money went? To the stabilization fund, to fund all the other union stuff. That didn't fund retirees. The only thing the retirees get, Medicare eligible retirees get out of the stabilization fund is if they are in a union and have a welfare fund. It doesn't even help the retirees that aren't in a union and don't have a welfare fund. This is the stuff that you guys just don't seem to understand. And yet you want to say, I'm spreading misinformation. I can fact check with documents, legal documents, city documents, court records everything we say. Fact check me. I've been begging you to do it. Fact check me. Prove me wrong somewhere. Please, someone, prove me wrong somewhere. But hey, Vinny, can you cite any document to support what you're saying anyway? Send it to me. Prove me wrong. I dare you. And then this goes on. Let's see. While there has not been any evidence to prove that the Medicare Advantage plan is inferior to the current plan, dude, Medicare Advantage plans are inherently inferior to traditional Medicare. They have to be. And it's not just prior authorizations. We even had, because the unions imposed so many prior authorizations in the GHI CBP plan, one of your own suffered an untimely death due to prior authorization and GHI CBP not allowing her to have an MRI. Why don't you read about that one? Google search, Kathleen Valentini, the wife of an NYPD retiree. Then let me know what you find out. And it's not just about that. We have documents everywhere that we can cite on our one-pagers, the differences between Medicare Traditional and Medicare Advantage. You have no coordination of health insurance. You have small unions that have small welfare funds that they can use no coordination of any insurance, not even an outside drug plan. You have formularies that don't include certain drugs. I have one retiree, actually I have several that take this one medication. It's $12,600 a month. It's for her lungs. Life-saving medication, needs it or she will die. Her welfare fund doesn't cover it. Her welfare fund cap is $5,000 a year. I have another one who has the same drug. It's a $23,000 cap a year. She wouldn't even have touched the welfare funds normally. She goes out and gets a private Part D plan, a PDP. It's $29.30, covers that $12,600 drug almost at full. In a Medicare Advantage plan, you could have no outside PDP. You must only use your welfare fund or the city drug rider at $125 a month. She's obviously going to need the drug rider. So what she would have had to do is be in her welfare fund, start paying the premium for the drug rider for the city at $125 a month in January. She won't be able to get into the drug rider until she exhausts the allotment available to her for in the drug plan. And what does that mean? She would have to spend whatever that allotment is. Her union would have been either the $5,000 or the $23,000 a year, and then she'd be allowed to use the drug plan, the city drug rider. So meanwhile, she's paying $125, $125, $125 until she gets to the point where she's able to actually access the drug rider. You know what the problem is? Her drug isn't even in the formulary for the welfare fund. She'll never even get out of it. She won't even get into it to get out of it. So she'll never be able to access the drug rider. She'll be paying for that forever and never be able to get out of it. Can't even get into it. Here's the other problem. Because people like this would never have even gone into the welfare fund, they just would have taken the outside PDP because it would have suited their needs for a small premium. Now, for those that actually can use the drug rider and their welfare fund, they would have to exhaust the welfare fund allotment before they ever get into the rider. So for those small unions with small welfare funds, let's say for the $5,000 or the $23,000, those unions would have their welfare funds sucked dry by all of their members on an annual basis, where before that never would have happened. That will bankrupt those unions. Those unions will lose their welfare funds. You have to think about this one. This was really clever thinking on the part of Robert Lynn, who did this to all of you. This was a tactic to break the unions. You guys fell for it. Why would you agree to that? And that is inherently a proposal for Medicare Advantage. You can have no coordination of health insurance. You can't even use TRICARE for medical if you're a veteran. You can only use it for your drug plan. We have that in writing from OLR. So don't tell me it's just prior authorizations. We all need prior authorizations. They actually help you. No, that's not the case. And when you're older or you have more health issues, you can't wait 7, 14, 15 days to go get something approved. You need something, you need it now. This is what you guys don't understand. We're not 20, 30 years old anymore. And then you don't have someone to help fight this for you or appeal a denial. And the doctors don't want to do it. That's why the American Medical Association is against this. But geez, you're a lieutenant paramedic, Vinny? Lieutenant EMT? Seriously? And you don't understand the differences in healthcare between younger people and older people or the disabled. Shocking to me that we're even having this conversation. So yeah, you're saying that there's no evidence. There's plenty of evidence that Medicare Advantage plans are inferior to traditional Medicare. We also have seniors that live in stepped care communities, that these are people who go into as independent living. They can transition to assisted memory care or nursing care through their end of their life. They take care of their end of life plans. Medicare Advantage is not allowed in these situations. So now those seniors would either be forced out of their city health plans and now would have to purchase an outside Medigap to maintain their traditional Medicare, because Medicare traditional and a supplemental is required in those residential contracts. And then if they do that, if they opt out of the city plan and purchase the plan on the outside, they're paying for their supplemental. Because they opted out of the city plan, they now have the burden of Medicare premium. They no longer are entitled to Medicare premium reimbursement. If they don't, what are they going to do? Lose their home. When all is said and done, you will be able to choose to keep your current plan at a cost of $191. Sweetheart, 2/3 of DC 37's retirees make under $25,000. 1/3 of them make under 12. You tell me, are they going to be able to afford a $200 premium a month that is ever going to be increasing year after year? The answer is no. That's not a choice for them. They will have no choice. You want to preserve choice, you keep what we have. Then you said, I'm providing lots of information. We can cite, fact check everything we put out. Prove me wrong on anything that I've said. I dare you. I'm begging you. Vinny, read my lips. Fact check the hell out of everything I say. I want you to itemize everything that you accuse me of lying about. I'm waiting. We will need prior approvals, as I said. Oh my gosh. I'm really not trying to defend any of this. I just wish we weren't in this situation, but allowing the stabilization fund to go bankrupt will be far more worse for retirees and active members. Well, the stabilization fund, what does it fund? The equalization rate between HIP and GHI. It also funds the welfare funds. It funds PICA. PICA and the equalization rate are only for non-Medicare eligible retirees and active in-service workers, not Medicare eligible retirees, your most vulnerable population. You don't even know what the hell the stabilization fund funds. Let's see, last one. There are ways that you actually can fund the stabilization fund. Do you know how to do that? Because I can tell you how. Do you know that the city and the MLC have agreed year after year to reduce the HIP rate, which would have funded the stabilization fund? You used it as a savings in one of your last agreements. You changed the benchmark from HIP HMO to HIP preferred. And when you did that, you cut your own damn funding. When the city took money out of the stabilization fund and used it towards budget shortfalls, or even when you had the mental health subsidy that you went to court for to get the city, Mayor Bloomberg, to pay back, you gave it as a gift and you told them they didn't have to pay it back. Why? You used it as part of your benchmark to meet in savings in your agreement, the MLC agreement. It's all paper. And the IBO, the Independent Budget Office, and the Comptroller have both said that the stabilization fund has been used like a rainy day fund, i.e. slush fund. It's all in print. You don't have to believe me. Go read the Comptroller report. It came out in May. It says it right there. Search the Independent Budget Office. It says it right there. Even go to the CBC, the Senate Budget Commission, those not labor-friendly watchdog organization, they say it too. But I would more stick to the IBO and the Comptroller. And if you don't want that, maybe you should actually FOIL or ask the MLC and Henry Garrido for the full accounting of the stabilization fund for the last 20 years. You want to see money fly in and out? Maybe you should ask for that. Matter of fact, I implore every union member that's listening to this and every retiree to reach out to their retiree association and reach out to the MLC and demand that they make transparent the stabilization fund accounting. That might help. So yeah, this is absolutely crazy. And by the way, when you say that the Medicare Advantage plan mirrored GHI senior care, no, it didn't. We proved that in court. That's in old court records. It didn't mirror senior care. You modeled it after GHI CBP, not GHI senior care. Why? Because the majority of our bills are paid through Medicare. We don't have prior authorizations. We don't have networks. We don't have narrowed networks. We didn't have any of that. And we didn't have copays until you guys put them on us in order to fund yourselves. You use that savings to fund you. The stabilization fund does not really help a Medicare eligible retiree. It only funded the equalization rate between your two plans. And you misused that fund. And then now what? You want to sell off retiree health care in order to fund the stabilization fund that's been misused by you guys. We have all that in writing. It's been documented. It's not even me saying it. I'm repeating it. But we have it documented and fact checked. So I'm going to end this here because there's really no point in going back and reading all this other crap that you posted. I can prove everything I'm saying. So I'm going to double this down right now and right here. Fact check the shit out of everything I'm saying, Vinny. I'm waiting. Looking forward to hearing from you.